Hello everybody, it's TannerFishies here, back again with a new Ninjago video here on the channel. In today's video, we actually have some new Ninjago news coming from the Garmadon spin-off comic, which was announced last year as a 6-issue comic series detailing Garmadon's adventures following March of the Oni, where he just kind of disappeared and was never really heard from again. After this comic was announced, myself and several other Ninjago fans were very much looking forward to seeing what exactly it was all about. Garmadon is a fan favorite character, and a lot of Ninjago fans were curious to see where he was following season 10, when again he just kind of disappeared without any explanation. Well, today we actually have an update to the Garmadon comic. We have some new panels that we can take a look at, and these panels, we're going to be reading through them, don't you worry, but they do introduce a whole lot of questions into the mix here. This Garmadon comic doesn't seem to be going the direction that most people thought it might, and it introduces a couple of key aspects that I think are worth considering and worth discussing. So in today's video, my goal is to discuss the Garmadon comic preview and maybe give some type of insight as to what exactly is going to be going on in this comic series with Garmadon and his development. So I hope you enjoyed today's video, and let's go ahead and jump right into it. Alright, so before we actually take a look at the new images provided from the Garmadon comic, I think it's good to go over the synopsis once again, the official description of the actual comic series. Far away from Ninjago City, a village is terrorized by a mysterious new threat when they're saved by a stranger with incredible powers known as Garmadon, Lord of Destruction. Has Garmadon turned over a new leaf since his disappearance, or is this just the first step in his master plan of finally defeating Master Wu and the ninja forever? So the comic itself sounds like it's going to have a pretty interesting story with Garmadon actually, maybe saving people or potentially trying to work on his good side. I've always said that maybe there could be an imbalance between Garmadon's personalities, his good side and his bad side, and maybe this comic will actually go on to explore how maybe Garmadon is struggling with his two identities, struggling to determine what's right and what he wants personally. I think this description goes a long way to capture Garmadon's indecisiveness and his inability to figure out what exactly he is and what he wants to do with his life. Okay, so now let's get into the actual comic that we have, the actual images that we have regarding this new Garmadon comic and what exactly it's going to be all about. Again, art not final, keep that in mind, it basically says it right up here. This is not a finalized product, but we're going to read through this pretty quick. We have a couple of pages to go through in terms of this Garmadon comic, and it is rather interesting, so let's begin here. Who's there? Show yourself. Why are you here? I go where I please. You should not continue further. Kind of a conversation between Garmadon and someone else, a very mysterious character right here. You will not survive if you continue down this path. And obviously Garmadon is still just kind of walking around here. Brave words from one who sulks in the shadows. If you wish to test my mettle, then come out and face me. What sorcery is this? No sorcery. No tricks, just truth. Not mine. So, okay, we have two Garmadons here, it looks like, one of which is going to be the more stereotypical evil Garmadon. I think this is our Garmadon right here, the one that we recognize from March of the Oni and other Ninjago seasons prior, ever since his resurrection during season 8. I think this is the normal Garmadon. This Garmadon seems to be a little bit more evil, maybe the evil embodiment of the dark side of Garmadon's personality, or maybe once Garmadon truly split, this is the evil that remained, if Garmadon did in fact split his personalities. I think that Garmadon fighting himself, though, pretty much showcases that that is a possibility. You can see here that he is fighting this other version of himself, who appears to be more evil than this version of Garmadon. So is this just a vision? Is this all in his head? Let's continue reading further. How many failures must the great Garmadon suffer through? You failed as the leader to the sons of Garmadon, as a brother to Wu, as a husband to Misako, and even as a father to Lloyd. I am none of those things. I am a conqueror. So, yeah, it definitely seems like this is the Garmadon that we know and love, and this other form of Garmadon, this other embodiment of his personality, is something else entirely, and he's just kind of fighting off his own personal demons here. I kind of wonder, I mentioned this earlier, but is this all in Garmadon's head? Is he just kind of imagining this? Is he just kind of fighting with his own personality, within himself? Is this actually a physical character? I do really enjoy the art style, though. This art is fantastic. Obviously, art not final, but it looks really good so far. I'm very much excited to see the actual full product of this story once it officially gets released. I do like this part right here too, where he's sort of reminding himself of all of his failures, being a brother, husband, father. I think that's awesome. And Garmadon says here, I'm none of those things. Seems like Garmadon wants to stay evil, but knows that deep down he's going to always be fighting himself and his own failures. And the last page that we have here for the Garmadon comic so far is this really cool shot of both Garmadons, the Garmadon that we know presumably, and the new version of Garmadon who is just kind of there now. Again, not really sure what the connection is here, but it seems like they're either fighting each other or fighting something else and teaming up together. You can kind of see they're back to back here. Normally that would mean that perhaps they are fighting something else, like a mutual enemy, but as you can see, these slash marks right here makes me think that this Garmadon just kind of shot through this, and this Garmadon kind of blocked his attack or did something. I really like this art. This art is absolutely gorgeous. I absolutely love how this looks, and overall I'm very much looking forward to seeing what exactly this comic is even all about, because when you think about it, reading through this here, there are a lot of questions that need to be answered. So if I were willing to discuss what exactly I think is happening in this comic, I think Garmadon's main enemy here is going to be himself. I think that Garmadon is going to be struggling with his own inner demons and his own personality being twisted within the different Garmadon identities that exist right now. Those of course being the good guy Sensei Garmadon or Master Garmadon and the evil resurrected Lord Garmadon. When Garmadon was resurrected, Harumi intentionally brought back only the evil parts, but as we saw during the Oni trilogy, especially in season 10, Garmadon's good side is still there to some degree. So I feel like this comic will be detailing Garmadon's, I guess, inner turmoil, his discussion with himself. I almost wonder if the new version of Garmadon that we see in this comic is just a mental projection. It's just happening in his head. Maybe this new Garmadon isn't even real and is just a figment of Garmadon's imagination. I think that could totally work out. It's going to be interesting regardless though to see what Garmadon is going to be up to following season 10. I'm curious to see where this comic goes and how exactly it's going to expand on the character of Garmadon, and obviously I want to see how it ties into the main Ninjago TV show, which of course this comic is following the story of. This is canon to the show. This is 100% important to the context of the show. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed today's video. I will probably be doing a couple more videos on this Garmadon comic eventually, once we get new information and once more previews come out like this, but so far from what I've seen, I am very much looking forward to this comic, and I am super excited for its release. Hopefully you enjoyed today's video. Let me know down below in the comments what you think about this Garmadon comic. What do you think this storyline will be? And once again, that'll pretty much wrap it up for my thoughts here today. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed today's video, feel free to like, comment, subscribe, do all that fun stuff, and check out the links down below in the description for my other forms of social media. Thank you all so much for checking out today's video once again, you guys. My name is TannerFishies, and with that I bid you farewell.